If you're on the stock market, this is one of the most scariest words. Black Monday. Have a look.
The American people can remain confident in the soundness and the resilience of our financial system.
Today, the Dow dropped more than 22%, almost double the rate of the Black Monday that signaled the beginning of the crash of 1929.
By 4 p.m., the market had dropped 508 points, the biggest plummet since the crash of '29.
Now, today's vlog is all about the Black Monday mystery. We will talk about a little bit about the history about Black Monday. It's not only one day, it's multiple days in history, how we can foresee a Black Monday and what you can do to benefit and how the future looks for our current situation on the stock market. All about it here in this vlog. Let's talk about the definition of a Black Monday. Black Monday is a general term for a very bad event, a very undesirable event that is really hard to predict. And also we see this expression not only on the stock market, but also on other events like wars or other very massacre events, or any very negative events are concentrated and talked about Black Monday, Black Tuesdays, and so on. So this is a very bad word. But however, we want to concentrate first on the stock market and the financial world. And therefore, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe and like and ring the bell, everything together, because this will help to grow our community and to push for the message of spreading financial awareness, especially in those times. I think it's very important to be educated and to know what you do on the stock market. However, let's dive right into history. Okay, so we had a couple of Black Mondays already very long time ago. So let's start with the 28th of October 1929. It was the stock market crash, also known during the Great Depression, followed even by the Black Tuesday. So it's not limited by Black Monday. Black Monday, it's just mostly common because many bad things are happening after the weekend, but we will come to that in a later stage. Later on, we had the 29th of September 2008. This was the following the bursting of the US housing bubble, obviously, and also we had the Black Monday 2011 when the stock market crashed from a credit rate downgrade of the United States debt. Also, we had the Black Monday on the 24th of August 2015 when the stock market of China had crashed, and the 9th of March 2020 when the stock market crashed, the worst since the Great Depression. Now this you have seen, we had a couple of very spread Black Mondays, but you can see since 1929 there was a big break until the 90s, and then we had a couple of other events over the last couple of years. Every now and then is something coming up on the stock market that gives us a really big shock, and especially Mondays after a weekend of events, and therefore you can see that this is one of the elements of a Black Monday, which we will talk about right now. Let's talk about, can you foresee a Black Monday? Now, to be honest, not really. But on the other side, of course, if we have timings like that where everything is melting and everything is on the tension, that of course bad events accumulated on the weekend can lead to the market to crash on Monday when the market reopen again. Because on the kind of a pandemic, they don't make a weekend on pandemic, it's just getting worse. So all this bad news accumulating, and then you have the big bang on Mondays, and this is something that nobody can foresee. However, you can build some scenarios, and this is what I also just want to emphasize, that you always, when you trade or invest in the stock market, make some scenarios, especially short or mid-term, it's important to see, hey, what happened when this and this and this will factor into economy or political situation? What happens if that and this happens? So have 1, 2, or 3 scenarios and then make your position with some probabilities as well. So you say this scenario is very likely, this scenario is not that likely, and then you can allocate your money accordingly. And this is safe investment on the one side, but on the other side, you never can be that much safe. Who thought that a global pandemic will lead to another Black Monday on the greatest bull market that we ever had? So nobody, and therefore let's see how you can benefit from a Black Monday. So the another question, obviously, as we are looking for chances, on the stock market every single day, and every single day there are new chances on the stock market. But which chances really a Black Monday gives us? A Black Monday is a very negative event, right? And a very negative situation maybe as well. So how you can benefit from that? Usually when we have such bad days, the next days can be rebound days. So even, for example, now we have very oversold market. However, this doesn't mean that it can go now up. It's the same like in the casino. It can come 10 times red and then 1 time black and then again 10 times red, or even 20 times red, even 30 times red. There is no guarantee that next day will be positive. So be aware of that. So that's very, very similar to gambling, and you should really be an investor. And investing means think most of the time long term, how the whole situation will look like in 3 years, 5 years, and most probably we will be over with it, and therefore buy some stocks that will be crashed on Black Mondays, and then just enjoy these discounts and be happy when we see each other in 10 years here on this channel, and I will have like 300,000 subscribers and then we will talk about how Tesla is at $3,000 per share, for example. Now the final question, how many Black Mondays are there for us in the future? Now this is a very interesting question and very tricky question, because in the end of the day we cannot see what's happening on the market and what will happen on the market. Nobody, even when they know where is the bottom, even they know when there's the next crash, there's people on the stock market in this community that saying since 2009 that there's another crash coming, and then they lost all this 400-500% in the indexes of gains in the greatest bull market ever. So first of all, you need to really allocate your portfolio accordingly, to think long term. This is my personal opinion, the very best option, and not only my opinion, but also Warren Buffett says, I don't know how Coca-Cola will do next year or the year after, but I know Coca-Cola will do very good in 20-30 years, and that's why I'm investing with such a wide horizon, such a long-term horizon. That's the best. There is definitely some Black Mondays coming up in the near future, and I believe as bigger the gains are, as bigger the falls. If you remember the graphic that we just had recently, it's right here. We see the current decline. It was the fastest decline that we ever have seen, even faster than the Great Depression. And this means that actually you will see this kind of crashes very regular, maybe every 10 years, maybe every 5 years, maybe every 3 years. Maybe we get wiped up so much by this current pandemic that the next crash will be just in 20 years. This is totally possible. This is investing. This is the market. The market is reacting just to news and developments like we humans act on Earth. And don't forget that, the market will always be and price the reality, and sometimes it's a little bit overvalued and sometimes a little bit undervalued, and it's important to buy in the undervalued phases much more than in the overvalued. In the overvalued, it's more about getting the profits, and also be ready for the next Black Monday, because maybe next Monday is the Black Monday, maybe even the Monday after is the Black Monday, but we will never know. I thought also this week is another Black Monday, because such bad news that the 8 package which was not approved, and also more and more people are affected by this crisis out there, and there's no really solution out there, and people need to lock down, people need to be very strictly locked down in their premises, and stay safe, stay home, and be prepared, because this is something that is unprecedented at this point. You know, this is, maybe we will have a whole Black Week, you know, we don't know. In my personal opinion, as you know from my previous videos, there is a couple of bad news still incoming. I don't want to know how this will really affect the economy. You know, there's some Federal Reserve representative that said 30% unemployment rate in the US. That means every third person in the US will have no job. And especially in US with very, you know, depending people on the next paycheck, this can lead to a very critical situation. And therefore, you know, I'm really curious about the next unemployment rate that will be published on Thursday. And I'm not sure if they really will publish this report, because it can be so negative. But if they don't report it, then the question is how bad it will be.